Hello friends, welcome to A Gentle Healing Journey. My name is Rain. The video that I'm going to present to you right now, I originally filmed it for my other channel, Rain's Kitchen and Garden, but it's a bit of a life update video, so I wanted to share it with you here as well. I've been getting a lot of messages over the last 10 months from a lot of beautiful people. I've been so overwhelmed. As many of you know, my husband passed away in May. It was a suicide, so it was difficult going through the grieving process and going through the trauma that I felt from finding him and adjusting to the one salary or the one income and trying to manage everything on my own and deal with the grief and deal with the afterlife expenses and everything involved with someone dying like that. So it's been really rough, and I just want you all to know, those of you who have sent me messages, either through WhatsApp or through email or through snail mail, which is beautiful. I received them and they meant a lot more than I can express. So I want to thank all of you, and you know who you are. So thank you so much for everything. And I hope to be more in touch in the future now that I'm starting to feel a little better. So here's the video that I put on Rain's Kitchen and Garden, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Hello again, friends. It's Rain here. Welcome to my cozy living room. I've got the fire going and the dogs are all snoozing. It's so cold outside, but it's so warm in here. This is going to be a bit of a different video today. I've been transforming my life in so many ways, and I wanted to share this with you today. As you can see, the first transformation was my hair. I decided to give myself a pixie cut on Christmas Eve, and last month I decided to go blonde. I love it. It feels kind of like a reset. This isn't a dramatic makeover video. It's more like opening the window and letting you see the fresh air that's been coming into my life. This winter has been a season of quiet transformation for me, and this year I felt ready for a big change. Short blonde hair. That's something I haven't had in years. It feels kind of like a way of saying, this is my season to grow, to heal, and to step into myself again. I let go of the long red hair I'd been carrying for years. That hair was belonging to another version of me. Cutting it short and changing the color felt like shedding a layer of my past that no longer serves me. So off it went. It felt like more than just a style choice. It was a moment of taking back my self-power, a way of honoring the woman I am now, who puts herself first, her own comfort first, and her health first. So today I wanted to share a little bit about the changes I'm making this year. This year, I'm focusing on feeling strong and healthy in my body. I want to age with strength, not frailty. And I want to support my digestion, my flexibility, and my energy. These little routines that I've implemented have already made such a difference in my life. The first thing that I do every morning is I cuddle with my pets in bed. Doing this kind of starts my day out in a loving way, a soft, beautiful, and grateful way. And it sets the tone for love and comfort for all of us. I'm an early riser, so I get up at 4 in the morning, and I find I'm much more productive when I get up really, really early. So after morning cuddles, I wake my body up with gentle Tai Chi, usually for about 20 minutes, followed by a 3 to 5 minute meditation. After that, I do some rhythmic movements on my mini trampoline. No crazy jumping around or high impact routines at all. Basically, I put on YouTube and I watch something either educational or motivational. And as I walk and gently jog, I learn something new. I do that for about 90 minutes each morning. After this, I do some light stretching and some yoga to support my digestive health. It may seem like a lot, but honestly, this routine is keeping me feeling energetic, strong, and very healthy. Part of my physical health journey this year is supporting my digestion. I was diagnosed with IBS, and I've struggled for a long time with the symptoms. My gosh, if any of you have that, you know the debilitating pain. So I'm finally making changes that help my body feel calmer and much more balanced. The up and down motion of working out on a trampoline, it really supports the digestive health. And overall, it's great for the lymphatic system. It helps your immune system. It helps to remove toxins from your body. And it gets things flowing inside. And I can attest that it helps my digestion so much, because if I even skip one day, I'm back in digestive hell. So I never skip any days anymore. The routine that I just described is what I call my self-maintenance routine. So to add to that every day, I either do weight training or another yoga program, plus additional cardio. I love step aerobics. Do you guys remember Jane Fonda's workouts? Well, I have pretty much all of them, and I love her step aerobics routines. They're really a lot of fun, and they get your heart pumping. So the weight training is for strength. The yoga is for flexibility, and the cardio is for helping me to lose a little bit of excess weight and to keep my heart healthy. When the weather improves, though, dog walks will replace the step aerobics for sure. I can't wait. I'm building more outdoor activity into my days also. Nothing extreme, just gentle habits that help me feel better and get me out into the sunshine every day whenever possible. I'm trying to think long term, to build resilience and strength and flexibility, and refusing to be fragile as I get older. I love yoga as well because it's so gentle and relaxing, and it really helps me to learn to be in the moment and not bitch about the past or worry about the future at all. Some call this mindfulness, right? And mindfulness is a great way to manage stress. There's controversy as to whether stress causes IBS flare-ups. Controversy or not, I find that now that I'm managing my stress actively, I'm not suffering like I used to. Stress management is something that I think everyone should find the time for in our world today. Also, I noticed after my husband died last May that I was starting to feel anxiety and panic, which I hadn't felt in a long time. At first I ignored it, right? That doesn't work ever. Then I kind of tried to self-medicate, use your imagination. And finally, around Christmas, I just stopped everything unhealthy and I started to meditate every morning in kind of a desperate attempt to calm myself down. At first, it was hard. It felt like it lasted forever and my mind kept wandering. But after consistent daily practice, I was able to get into it and enjoy it. And it's really helped me to feel more calm. And now I look forward to it after my Tai Chi practice every morning. Meditation with the daily Tai Chi and yoga altogether have really helped me manage my stress. I want to do things that make me feel good, and this certainly does. And as I started calming my mind, I also began looking at what I was putting into my body. I'm making small, steady changes to support my digestion and my gut and my overall strength and my body and my immune system. Things like cutting back on sugar, cutting back on hidden starches and seed oils. This has been challenging, especially when you start reading food labels. Oh my gosh. But I'm learning a lot about the food industry, and that's for another conversation. But also I'm choosing simple whole foods whenever I can, single ingredient foods, also adding fermented foods. I'm tinkering with sourdough and homemade sauerkraut. I make my own lactose-free yogurt and cottage cheese every week. I love to eat that every day. And I'm about to start following the low FODMAP elimination diet to help support the IBS. I'll put links in the description on that subject. It's going to help me to determine which foods are hurting my insides. Look out for a video on that in the future, because that'll be interesting. I'm trying to eat more protein. I'm mostly a pescatarian, so I eat fish, but not really any other meats, though I do like to have broth. So I make my own chicken bone and beef bone broths as well. And this year, I'm going to be trying out hydroponics by growing my own lettuce in water. I'm trying to incorporate more leafy greens into my diet, so I got the idea that maybe I could try to grow them at home. I love it because it's indoor gardening in the winter. I love that because trying to find decent, reasonably priced produce in the winter here, is nearly impossible, so growing my own is going to be so amazing. So that will also be a future video, so keep an eye out for that. For my mental health, I've been simplifying my life and creating routines that help me stay calm and focused. I've set really strong boundaries with people and for myself, and I've stepped away from drama and toxic people, and I'm slowly clearing out the overwhelm, including what I call my city of boxes in the basement. I was going to pop a picture up of my basement, but I'm not ready to do that yet. Seriously, it's like packed to the gills with boxes of stuff. I can't wait to get rid of most of that stuff. I'm also creating a peaceful home environment with soft music, nice scents, and open spaces. All of these little choices help my mind feel clearer and more grounded. And I realized recently how important my environment is to my mental health. And when I say environment, I mean the area where I exist in my home. If there's clutter and dust and messiness, I feel stress and irritation. So I have a regular cleaning and decluttering routine to help with that as well. And also, removing my late husband's things has been very freeing. Having reminders of me right in front of me, of him and of our broken relationship, that was causing me stress and anxiety. So decluttering is a huge move to transform my mental health. And I've noticed that my dogs are a lot calmer when I have a kind of Zen atmosphere in the home. I always have some aromatherapy going on, soft piano jazz music, comfy spots, and nice pillows where they can all lie down. I speak to them gently. There's no aggression, no violence, no yelling in my home anymore. It's very Zen, and that's something I'm so grateful for. No more walking on eggshells in this house. And it wasn't just me, it was the dogs too. They feel your energy more than we can imagine, and I've seen the changes in them. They feel safe, I feel safe, and that helps me feel really good. Creating a peaceful home has changed all of us. Having my home environment free of clutter and chaos is so important. Also, to support my mental health, I've started taking fish oils that are high in omega-3 fatty acids. They really promote good mental health, and I've noticed a difference. I also drink a lot of calming herbal teas now as well, especially before bed, and it helps me to sleep. Sleep, that could be another full video that I could do. Sleep is not an option. It's not conditional. You need sleep for all areas of your health. So now, despite how hard it is, I kick all the dogs off my bed every night, but they got used to it. And we have our morning cuddle time too, so it all works out. And I'm getting a much more deep and restorative sleep. I've incorporated some body stretching before bed, some gentle self-massage, especially around my neck and my jaw. This is where I hold all of my stress. I found that warming up some organic almond oil and massaging like around my neck, my jaw, around my head and my face every night before bed really relaxes me. I'm going to share something very personal with you. I have a lot of motivational and therapeutic card decks. One day I saw a deck and it was called the Famous Art Deck. I'm an artist and I'm such a fan of the masters. I saw it and I bought it. And I used to go through the cards each day and to enjoy the artwork, to learn about the artist, and also to read the helpful messages. Now, I have had this card sitting in front of my computer since 2021, and I'm going to show it to you. You may recognize the painting. It's called Girl with a Pearl Earring by Johann Vermeer. It's one of my most favorite paintings, and the message on the card says harmony at home. When I first saw this, it brought me tears because that's all I wanted. And you know, to be honest, living in an unhealthy relationship that was at times chaotic and at times abusive, I prayed every day for harmony at home. I prayed every day. After my husband's death, my desk was kind of like a dumping ground for papers and mail and invoices and legal documents. That card got lost on my desk, and I completely forgot about it. But earlier this winter, last winter, after I'd started the big declutter process, I cleaned up my desk area and I noticed something yellow on the floor behind my desk. And it was that card. I picked it up not realizing what the significance was in the moment, but I looked at it and I got really, really emotional because I finally had what I'd been praying for 5 years, harmony at home. It was moving, and that's what I continue to strive for. And that card is right in front of me all the time now as a reminder to keep my home environment a peaceful and zen place for me and for my pets. Emotionally, this year is about creating even more peace inside my home, but especially inside of myself. I've been letting go of old memories, decluttering my mind of old stories and unhealthy ruminating, and rebuilding my identity in a way that feels calm and true. Little routines like knitting, reading in the mornings in bed with the dogs, and working on my fiction writing have been incredibly healing for me. I'm also back to the books. I'm studying psychology and criminology. I'm learning more about mental health, suicide, trauma, grief, and domestic abuse. And it's helping me really understand what I went through. It's helping me to heal from the past and move forward with clarity and with compassion. I've enrolled in a training program to be a life coach, and I hope to be able to share what I'm learning, as well as my life experiences, with others to help them through their own challenges. That's a big goal of mine for 2026, and I'll keep you posted on that as I go along. In fact, I have several YouTube channels, but one of them is called A Gentle Healing Journey. And I've started to post videos on that channel to help people with their struggles and along their own healing journey. I was planning on waiting to post videos until I achieved my certification as a life coach, but you know what? There's never going to be a perfect time. So carpe diem, seize the day and start now. And that's what I'm doing. As I learn, as I am able to apply my knowledge to my life and to my experience, I'm going to share that with you on that channel, A Gentle Healing Journey. And I'll put all of my links below in the description if you'd like to subscribe to any or all of my channels. But I will definitely be posting here on Rain's Kitchen and Garden. Whenever I upload a new video to all of the other channels, I will post something here so you don't miss anything. Forgiveness is something that I've been genuinely working on as well, specifically towards my late husband. I acknowledge the harm, but I also acknowledge the love. I acknowledge the complexity and the complete emotional whirlwind that goes along with what I'd been through in that relationship. But you know what? I decided to choose peace. The emotional weight that's lifted when you choose peace and forgiveness over pain and harm is immeasurable. It's freedom. Forgiveness didn't erase what happened. It simply released me from carrying it. I can still honor the love in my heart that I still have for him, because as people who have experienced this kind of relationship will agree, the bad times are never 24/7. You still love the person. So I can honor my heart without keeping the pain in there and without denying that it happened. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm closing this previous chapter of my life with compassion and forgiveness. And I'm moving forward. I recently also attended a motivational seminar online. It was 3 days, and the speaker talked a lot about self-identity. He also challenged people to change their story. You don't have to exist in life with a story that you've been telling yourself over and over for years. Like, if you keep telling yourself you're not good enough, you probably won't be. If you keep telling yourself no one will ever love you, your attitude and your actions, that will ensure that nobody will love you, and it'll just confirm in your mind that you're unlovable. That's just an example. But I really thought about this, and I had an old story that was unhealthy that I kept telling myself. We get stuck in these stories. The fact is, whatever you focus on, your brain will start to move you in that direction. And the speaker from that seminar, his words were, change your story, change your life. So that's something that I'm currently working on, and I'm really seeing some great breakthroughs. Emotionally, I've also been reconnecting with things that bring me joy. I've started learning to play the piano again, and I'm even taking singing lessons. Music has been such a healing part of my life lately. It helps me relax and express myself. I have some very calming hobbies, and that makes me feel creative. And I feel as though I'm thriving and I'm flourishing. It really brings peace to my mind. It's been really tough adjusting to one income with 5 big dogs and lots of debt and the home and auto expenses. I felt like I was drowning financially. But I was determined to find a way out because financial problems, they lead to mental, emotional, and physical issues as well, right? It's very stressful, as everyone out there knows. We've all been through it, or we are going through it, or we sadly will go through financial difficulties. Being able to financially take care of myself and my family is so important to me. I recently turned 58, and to be honest, the very urgent need to build a nest egg is not lost on me. Financially, I've been rebuilding from the ground up since last May. I've embraced frugality, simplified my spending, and created a long-term plan that gives me stability and safety. I've made a lot of small changes, everything from lowering my bills to budgeting more intentionally, and it's very slowly paying off. I'm in a much healthier place right now financially. I still have a long way to go though, but it doesn't feel as desperate because I have that plan and I made those changes, and every day I think of something new to change and to be more frugal. We live in an instant gratification society, right? We just have to turn on our computers and type a little way and wait for our stuff to arrive right at our door. I'm not doing that anymore. In fact, I've completely broken up with online shopping. The only time I will buy anything online anymore is if it's something that my family and I need and the price just can't be beat. There are some things I've done and do to keep my expenses low, and I want to share some of those with you. One thing I did was I cut my power bill in half by being really frugal with electricity and choosing to heat with wood instead of baseboard heaters this winter. Last summer, I sweated it out and I didn't turn the air conditioner on more than once, and I remember that day. I only go grocery shopping once a month, and I shop with the flyers, and if I can find coupons, I use those. Last fall, I spent hours on the phone finding cheaper home and auto insurance, despite how annoying and stressful and energetically draining it was, you know, but it was worth the effort. I buy in bulk when things are on sale, and I preserve things by canning and freezing and dehydrating. I cut out all streaming services, though after watching the hockey playoff at the Winter Olympics, I was tempted to get a sports package, but I didn't succumb to that temptation, thank goodness. That was a hard one for me. I actually went to my bank to optimize my mortgage payments to bi-weekly instead of monthly payments, which, by the way, cuts the amount of interest you end up paying in the long run. While I was there, I asked to lower my bank fees, and I'm careful with my transactions now to stay within the limits of those fees. And I got them to lower my credit card interest rates so that I could pay off my credit card quicker. I borrow books from the library. I don't buy them anymore. I'm learning a lot about investing by reading library books and watching videos on YouTube. I created a 10-year realistic budget to see how much I can invest. I still have a lot to learn about investing, but my plan is to start investing my money this year. I'll probably put together a series on frugality and how to save money because I think we can all use a lot more advice on that. And if you have any tips, please put them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. You know, part of my identity now is taking back control over my financial independence and proving to myself that I can stand on my own. I'm choosing long-term peace of mind over short-term instant gratification comfort from now on. So that's where I am right now. I'm rebuilding my physical health, my emotional health, my mental health, and even my financial health. It's been a year of big changes, but all of them have brought me closer to the woman I want to be. I'm taking things slowly, gently, and at my own pace, and I'm really excited to share more of this journey with you as the year unfolds and as my life unfolds. Of course, I plan to continue to offer you kitchen and garden and pet videos here in the future. I haven't given up on that, but I would like also to add some more personal touches from now on to this channel. This is the first time in a long time where I feel truly at home and truly where I'm meant to be in my life. It feels good. Thanks so much for sticking with me during this last year. I'm still working on grief and the shock of my husband's suicide, but I feel lighter. I feel like the dark days are almost behind me. I see the light. So thank you again for being here with me. It means more than you know. Thanks again, friends. I'll see you next time. Bye.